Plan B with Sarina Bellissimo. The biggest stars, gossip, events, and the biggest tunes. Plan B, your weekend fix.
My next guest stars as the adorable and brilliant Brickheck on The Middle. It's Atticus Shaffer. Atticus, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
The Middle, how much fun is it working on that show?
Oh, I mean, it's a nightmare. No, I'm kidding. We love working on the show, and it's not just me. It's all the cast. We love working with each other. We are like a huge family on set, and I have such a blast being able to go to work every day.
It's been going for 6 years now, into its 7th season. How much longer do you think The Middle can go for?
I honestly don't know. I'm the type of person that usually is like, well, expect the worst, but hope for the best. Back in first season, I remember specifically saying, I think our show can go for 7 years. And I was doing an interview with Neil, who plays Mike, and he was like, oh, it could probably go for 3. And I'm like, I think we could go for 7 years, and we are going into our 7th season. So that's pretty cool that kind of is coming true. But beyond that, you know, every year we don't know. So it's a surprise to us, too, when everyone hears the news, and it's a pleasant surprise, obviously.
And you have 2 of the coolest TV parents ever. What's it like working with them?
You know, that's the thing, ever since the beginning, I always saw Patty and Neil. It's just like, okay, here's 2 people. I don't, see them as anything more. For me, the coolest part for me is because I work with them every day. It's like, okay, yeah, this is who I work with every day. What I love is when we get those really cool, unique guest stars that come on. Ever since first season with Betty White, we've had Betty White, we've had Brooke Shields, Marion Ross, Doris Roberts as well, and one of my favorites was Rick Harrison from Pawn Stars. That was so cool. So that's what I love. I get into that, and I have a blast when I'm able to work with those guest stars too, because it's just there's a different energy that they bring with them to the set, and it's so much fun.
What's it been like for you, Atticus, growing up on set? Because that's not a normal experience for people.
Definitely. No, it's true. And for me, I'm blessed because my parents, my family, my friends, they all are very humble. They keep me down to earth. My mom is not like going out and blowing my money on iPhone covers and purses. You know what I mean? What brings us joy as a family and even my friends is the simple things in life. It's like books. It's for me, because I'm a huge nerd, it's watching The Walking Dead. It's stuff like that. It's nature. It's antiques. But growing up on set has definitely been a unique experience because now I'm going to be 17, and that means I've worked more than half my life being an actor, being in the business. And so it's interesting because every day has been an adventure, but it definitely has its challenges.
Without sounding condescending, Atticus, I often watch child actors and I just go, how do they do it? You haven't had that life experience to be tapping into all these different emotions and even just memorizing lines. Some of you are so young when you start that you don't even know how to read. So how do you turn up to work prepared?
For me, my mom and I have always read books out loud together. And we did not even plan for me to become an actor. It's just one of those things where my mom and I, we would love to read. I love to do character voices. I love to just kind of be characters and what have you. And one of the things, too, is I watch a lot of TV, too. When I was growing up, I loved watching the classic cartoons and stuff like that. I loved watching different shows and different movies. And because I was a little bit more mature in my thinking and what I took interest in, I would be able to watch movies, too. And I was able to see all these different things that kind of you can carry into an emotion and a character. And for me specifically, memorizing lines, I almost have like a photographic memory. I don't memorize the words themselves. I memorize what they look like on the paper. So then it's like I'm just reading in my head, but obviously that's the challenge, is you can't just act like you're acting.
Yeah.
You have to act like it's real.
So is this something you want to continue when The Middle finishes up? What are your plans?
My hope is when The Middle is done to go to college and then go to film school and study to become a director/writer.
Well, what do you think is left for Brick?
My hope is that Brick matures emotionally and obviously he's maturing physically, but emotionally to the point where maybe he can start getting his own group of friends that aren't necessarily quote-unquote normal, but it's normal for him.
before I let you go, Atticus, fan encounters, when people see you, is it, hey, Atticus, or is it, hey, Brick?
I get the whole circuit. It's actually very shocking, but it's very cool that people will know my name. Speaking of which, this was a freak out for me. My mom and I, we were driving in the car with my dad, and my mom pulled out her phone, and she started to look up meanings to names. So she was looking up names, and then she looked up the name Atticus. And we looked up Wikipedia, and she pulled it up, and she was like, wow, Atticus was the name of a Christian martyr. Atticus was the name of such and such. Atticus was the name of whatever. And then at the bottom of the list, this little tidbit says, Atticus Shaffer, American actor, born 1998. And I was like, oh, my God, that's me. That's so cool. I'm on Wikipedia. So it was cool to be able to see that.
Do you know what's cool, Atticus? That you're real as well and that you freak out, and that's always nice to see. We're looking forward to the next season of The Middle. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Plan B with Sarina Bellissimo. Your weekend fix.
Number one for music and entertainment.
Spin 103.8.